Chatting with Anita Wood, who teaches watercolor painting and acrylic painting at Dunedin Fine Arts Center. So, Anita, if you could tell me what made you decide to become a teacher?
Well, actually, because when I was working in my career, because I had to make money, so I had a career outside of doing art, and it included a lot of teaching, and I was doing a lot of computer training, and I discovered that I always loved it. And as soon as I sold my business, I was asked to teach some watercolor classes. I loved it, and I realized that I really could make a difference in the students when I was teaching the watercolor. So it just has gone from there, and that started in the year 2000. So it's just been an incredible journey. Love every bit of it.
Yes. And how long have you been teaching at DFAC?
I believe it was the 2012 to 13 years when I started.
Oh, okay. So tell me, what do you love most about watercolor painting?
Well, first of all, there really is no medium like it. And watercolor is so versatile. You can paint on different surfaces, which now the other surfaces are just actually coming on board a little more than they used to be. Experimental surfaces that are being accepted by international shows, etc. But watercolor is explosive like no other medium. And watercolor, I always say, is like a cat because you don't control it, it controls you. And it just does things that no other medium can do. You can do layers. I know you can do layers with others too, but you know, all you need is water and color and a piece and a surface, but that's all you need. And you can do remarkable things with it. And I've loved it from the time I started.
So do you have some examples of your work you could show us?
Well, I have the painting behind me, which is actually my newest painting. And I'll show you another one too. It is framed. I'll show you the difference with it. So, and I know many of you have seen this before, so I'll just hold it up very quickly. This is, I think you can see that. Oops. That is the way I would typically paint watercolors, and very particular, fine work, a little bit of an abstract attitude to it. And then the one behind me is on a color wrapped canvas. And it does not need to be framed. It's lightweight and it's varnished.
Anita, could you just start over? We couldn't hear you when you were standing up.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I was actually, when I was painting, what I've always been painting is very much realistic watercolors. And just because life moves on and I'm experimenting a little more with it. And so as you saw my Red Rider, the bicycles, and that one was actually published in Splash, but that was very much of a perfect painting. And I'm kind of exploring into more of a loose style of painting, which you see behind me. And I don't know if you want to see these now, but these are some of the portraits that I'm also painting in watercolor.
Oh, wow.
So they will be in the portrait class. And I have several more, but I know this isn't a 2-hour interview. My paintings are basically on my website at anitawood.com as well, for those who want to see some more of the work.
Okay, great. So you teach a beginner watercolor painting class. Do students need to have any painting experience for that class?
No, and actually it's really nice if they don't. I mean, everybody is welcome because I do have some repeat students. I have some that are very professional beginners that keep coming back, and I love it. But no, they don't need to know anything about painting because we look at the colors, the color properties, mixing colors, how much water do you put into your brush, how just to start. And I go right back from the basics. And I tell the beginning of every class, every course with that is that I'm treating you as if you know nothing about this, and you're going to learn it right from the very beginning. And it's all about techniques. and it gives you a solid foundation in watercolor. And you don't need to know how to draw, because we work on that together. It's not a drawing class, it's a painting class. Yeah.
Okay. So do you feel that anyone can learn to paint with watercolors?
Everyone who has a desire to paint in watercolor can learn to paint. And people say, I have no talent. You have no idea. You have no idea till you start. And then when you see what watercolor does, and I see this all the time in my classes, they're just amazed at what they can produce. And it's so amazing. They can paint a flower they never thought was possible. And it's so satisfying. And it's just learning the techniques and applying the water and the color. And we do it in the beginner's class. Well, we do it in a lot of the classes. There's a demo for each one, but in the beginner's class, it definitely is a paint along with me. So I'll do a portion of it and they'll do a portion of it, because the projects are not huge. We paint on small sheets of paper, and it's step by step.
Okay. So besides learning painting techniques with watercolors and acrylics, have you noticed any other outcomes with your students in class?
I actually have. And, you know, it's myself, I've created a lot of friendship through the class. But one thing that I noticed is many of my students that are in the beginner's class, they move up to my Thursday class, which is the intermediate advanced class. And it's called the Watercolors Larger Than Life, and they graduate directly into that class. And sure, they're intimidated to begin with, but through the years, they are now very comfortable in that class, and they have made lifelong friends between each other. I'm just amazed at how I see the friendships develop. And they are just continuing friendship throughout the year. And it's so gratifying, because painting doesn't only make you yourself feel better, but it can enrich your life with fellow artists too.
Yes.
It's a common bond.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So Anita, you are not local.
No.
And you will be teaching some online classes in the winter sessions. So can you tell me what those will include?
Well, actually, I would love to tell you. And it's actually something that I've been playing with the idea of doing online classes like for a couple of years, but you know, it wasn't a push because I was busy and my priority was just doing my workshops during the summer, classes during the winter, and I didn't feel the dramatic need. This year I had a lot of questions and inquiries about online classes. Different guilds asked me to teach online. So I bought all the equipment, of course, online because of the pandemic. And I have everything set up with that. So the way that I plan on teaching the classes is using the Zoom platform, which I do have that. And I'll do the introduction. I will have my demos recorded, and then I can play the demos. And all of my demos videos are recorded in chapters or segments, so you know where you can stop and start. And each one that I make, I envision my class in front of me. And I speak through the demo, saying step by step what I'm doing, so that there's no doubt they can follow it and anyone can stop it. But I'll be obviously with my online classes, I'll be there. I'll do a little portion, just like as if I'm doing this in class, and I'll say, okay, so now it's your turn. So I'll stop the demo. I'll be on Zoom where I can watch them and they can come and show me what they're doing. If they have any questions, I'll have my brushes and everything right there and show them directly on how I would tackle something that they run into or play back that little part of the video. So it's going to be a little, every class and every students, all the students are just a little different. So it's whatever they need is what we'll do, so that they feel that they're getting this. And also the demos or the videos will be available after the class too, so they can do this maybe at a slower pace, and if they've missed something. So it really eliminates the pressure of taking notes while they watch the demo and try to do this alone, because they can play back the video. That's my goal, and that's how I have been teaching some online classes, and it seems to be really good.
Well, I'm excited. This is a whole new world of art education.
Oh, it certainly is, but it's a good one. Yeah.
Yes. So we will have a link below this video, and folks can check out your course descriptions and sign up.
Okay.
But thank you so much for taking some time today to tell me about your classes.
I wouldn't miss it.
Yes. All right, so we won't see you this year, unfortunately, but hopefully next year we can see you in person.
If there's a miracle, we'll pop in maybe in March or something and say hi if I'm in the area, but we're not really counting on it next year.
All right, thank you so much, Anita.
Thank you, Sarah. Nice to chat with you.